Good morning, YouTube. Let's see. Well, I bought a truck at Ohio Truck Sales. I know that it's a big store, so I figured I would share my experience with everyone who was looking to do the same and sort of give some things I learned in the process of doing that. Let's see. I've had this truck now for about a month so far. I bought a 2015 Freightliner Cascadia from a lease purchase I completed, and I had that truck. But we all want the dream truck. Well, at least I did. I wanted a dream truck, and for me that was a pre-emission W900L with the 86-inch studio sleeper with the sofa and all that cool stuff. And that's what I'm in. It's a bed right now, but it's a freaking sofa. So was it the smartest decision to trade in my Freightliner that had no problems, 500,000 miles, for a 2002 Kenworth with, like 1.5 million miles on it? Probably not. But I did it, and so far I've been happy. I love this truck. But anyway, Ohio Truck Sales, Sandusky, Ohio. They have a lot of trucks. Kenworth, Peterbilts, they do sometimes have newer stuff. If people trade them in and they're nice, they'll turn around and sell them as well. They sold my truck there someone bought it for $75,000. Freightliner. Market's crazy. But it is what it is. When you're buying one of these older trucks, you really, really, really need to do your research and spend a lot of time with the truck before you pick one. It took me 2 weeks going up there, driving 4 or 5 trucks, not finding what I wanted, or it had too many problems, and trying to find one. To find one there that is 100% ready to go is rare, very rare. You're probably not going to find one. And the way they have their price points right now, obviously depends on paperwork, on rebuilds if they have it, or options the truck has, year the truck is, how nice the truck is. The nicer trucks, the ones that are close to being DOT ready, are going to be on the upper end of that, like this one was. If you're looking at the cheaper trucks, they're going to need work. They're going to need more work than the other ones. I'll tell you that right now. You're probably not going to go in there and find a truck on the lower end of the spectrum of their price, whatever it is. Right now is like $70,000, and be able to go take it to DOT inspection and put it on the road. It's probably not going to happen. A lot of these older trucks there have electrical issues, is what I've seen. I drove one that I really liked. It was a bull hauler truck. As soon as I got it warmed up, it drove real well. I loved the truck. Got it back, started to do a post-trip inspection. You need to heat these things up. You need to get them to operating temperature, drive them good, we'll get everything moving, then check it again, because then it had a main bearing leak. It was just pouring out by the transmission and bell housing, pouring out. And a lot of that stuff they will not fix for you to buy the truck. It depends on some things they will, some things they won't. Like with this truck, it had a couple lights that were out. They replaced those and took some. They had like a chicken light on one side and not on the other side, so I just had them take that off. And they don't negotiate price, which I found odd, especially with how inflated these prices are with the market the way it is. But yeah, so my recommendation is know what engine you want, because there's the older trucks are pre-emissions trucks. There's cats, there's N14s, then there's the X15 Cummins, and then there's the Detroit series. Are those like the main ones that you're going to find in these older trucks? Yeah, do your research, know what to look for, know their common problems, and then go start digging into that truck. Don't be one of those guys that just goes there and doesn't pop the hood, or just pops the hood and, oh, there's no oil leaks, it looks good. You're in for it. This truck though has been really well. It did have paperwork for a rebuild that was done 2 years ago, which is fantastic. I have a 2002 W900L 86-inch studio sleeper with a C15 6NZ cat and a 13 speed. When I bought this truck, one headlight was out. I was like, oh, no problem, you know, light bulb, whatever. And then it had a couple of the side marker lights that were out. Tires were all good. Brakes were good. It wasn't leaking anything. It was winter time, so I didn't know the AC wasn't working. But they closed the valves, so that's what they didn't know the AC. They say they didn't know the AC wasn't working either. But turned out I took it to Kenworth of Columbus. Mistake, big mistake. But they said it needed a new, and an air dryer. The air dryer was leaking, so they bypassed it. They didn't even have an air dryer there to replace it for me. They would have. They said they would, but they didn't. They said they didn't have one. So I took it to Columbus Kenworth, and because the AC would blow cold and it would stop, blow cold and it would stop every like 5 seconds. I took it there, and it's a long story about what happened at Kenworth. But basically, the whole AC unit needed replaced, according to them. So they did that. Expensive as hell. The parts were only $440 for an all new AC, blower, clutch, compressor, all that shit. Anyway, then the air dryer, they had an aftermarket one there in stock, and they wanted $850 in labor to do that. So I did it myself. You need to be able to work on these older trucks by yourself. Some of the stuff I can't do AC stuff because of evacuation and filling it back up. I don't have that. But I highly recommend being somewhat mechanically inclined if you're buying an older truck. And then, so it didn't need AC to obviously to be able to drive down the road to make it legal. It did need the air dryer because that was a air leak, and the cab airbag was leaking. I changed both of those myself. It wasn't bad. And then that headlight, someone put aftermarket LED headlights on this bad boy, and so there's no bulb. There's an LED projector thing. So I'd replace the entire housing, entire light. And to find the matching one to the other side, it was $340 something for that stinking light. And then the wiring. Oh my God, the wiring. Someone had their hands in here over the years, and I'm having to fix a lot of their old wiring problems. But other than that, it's not bad. I'd rather have a little bit of that issue than something mechanical. Mechanically, this truck has been really good so far. Really, really good. I went to Florida and back, up 75 from Georgia with mulch. I was 78,000 pounds up the mountains through Tennessee and Kentucky. She did really, really well. Never overheated. I got on the whole trip 6.6 to 7 miles per gallon based on putting fuel in and stuff. I obviously don't have a computer to tell me what my MPG is. But yeah, it's been a solid truck. Let's see if I can give you guys a little bit some in the cab or in a sleeper. It's a bed right now, so mind the mess. Got my Monster there, gauge package of radio that is that works. We'll take a look at the Legacy seats, brand new Legacy seats. When I got it, I still put my butt cushion on there because that purple cushion is awesome. Let's see if I can flip this around. There you go. Look at that hood. We're at a receiver right now, getting unloaded hopefully soon. They turned it red. Oh, there they go. Now they're doing something. One thing I noticed with these old trucks is the CB slot there. Someone had to cut that hole open, I think. but the wiring is there, so that's good. I'll show you guys the outside and stuff probably in another video. But if anyone has any questions about how truck sales, or some of these older trucks, if there's something to look for, if you have any questions, anything I can help with, any other stuff you guys want to see about the truck, I'll end up doing a walk around and all that stuff, show you guys more about my truck. But I wanted to talk about the truck sales. They were a little salesy, I will say. They'll do the someone's looking at it as soon as you left, and I'm sitting here like, I was just there was no one on the lot, and then just happened to look at the same truck out of 100 that I was just looking at. Didn't fall for that, but it is what it is. You know, they're salespeople too. But just stick to your guns. There'll be more. So don't go there and think like it has to be this truck because there'll be another one. But be ready. You know, financing and everything went real smooth. They were have a lot of money down. I would say with these older trucks getting financing and stuff, you need to have your credit in order. You need to have some money down. I had that trade in on the truck. That's what I used. Real nice people. I'm surprised in the fact that some things they won't fix. I feel like they should have every truck be DOT ready before they sell it. That's just my personal thing. If I was to own a car or a truck lot, that's what I would want. But I mean, that would be a lot of money, and they have hundreds of trucks, and the Peterbilts too, 100 of them. There's a crazy amount of trucks that they get there. So huge place, nice people. It's worth checking them out, but you need to look. Most trucks are not going to be, they paint them all on the outside too, so they all might look a little bit better than they are. You really need to drive them, test them out, and do a thorough, even take it down somewhere and have a pre-purchase inspection done. I would highly recommend that. You're going to find little things that just don't work and that should, and yeah, so do your due diligence, but you can find a good truck there. If you could, I mean, you just gotta know what you're looking for. You gotta really test them out. Lights, AC, heat, brakes, leaks, air leaks, electrical. Check all the lights, check everything. Check the outlets, you know, the 12-volt outlets, all that stuff. But yeah, any questions you guys have and pointers I can give you, shoot me a message, let me know, send me a comment. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to start doing a lot of videos on this truck. I'm going to do some walk arounds, talk about how the truck's performing, what work I've done to it, how it does pull in. We would just go from there, see what happens. So like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want, and we'll see you in the next one. Deuces.